Hey everybody, I'm Mark Wills, and while a lot of you may know me from country music, I'm also an avid outdoorsman and used to do a little competitive shooting. In just a few minutes, you can go from this basic, unmolded grip to this form-fitted, personalized custom grip. With me today is my good friend and buddy and gun enthusiast, Mr. Chad Brock.
Absolutely. I'm so excited to be here to tell you all about this new clench grip, but also to demonstrate how you can take the Talon clench grip and easily customize and form the grip to your personal grip.
Easily?
Easily.
Nice.
Yes.
Well, as Chad gets everything out of the package, I'm going to take this opportunity. Can you keep it down over there, man? I'm kind of trying to work here.
No, I can't. It makes noise. I'm sorry.
I'm going to take this opportunity to go over a few things that you're going to need once we get started. One, you're going to need a 4 to 6 quart stock pot. 2, a large bowl of cold water. 3, an oven mitt. 4, a stopwatch or a timer to indicate the seconds. Smartphone or stopwatch will work just fine. And number 5, you're going to need a 3 Phillips head screwdriver. Number 6, you're going to need a 3/16 long arm or a T-handled hex Allen wrench.
The first thing you will need to do is absolutely read the enclosed instructions. Prior. Let's start over if you don't mind. Nope. Okay.
What if you can't read?
Is completely read the enclosed instructions prior to beginning process to ensure that you completely understand and are fully prepared for the process.
How many processes are
there? You're on.
I'd never read the instructions.
You never. I know that's why you never get anything right.
Now, before you get started, we're going to make sure that the firearm that you are going to be attaching the clench grip to is unloaded. It needs to be safe, no magazine, and clearing any live rounds from the firearm. Now it's time to get started.
Now the grip is very hot during the forming process. So if you're sensitive to heat in this process, well, it might not be right for you.
Now, starting with your stock pot about 3/4 full of water, let's check out the size of the stock pot and practice the process real quick. Now, holding the grip by the end of the tool, we're going to submerge the grip portion into the stock pot, making sure that the grip can be fully submerged in the water without touching the sides of the stock pot. For best result, hold the dipstick at a slight angle like this. So now we're ready to fire up the heat. So let's get the cooktop eye on full heat and place the stock pot on the eye. Now we're going to move the cold water over to about here, and in just a few moments when we remove the boiling water from the eye, we want to make sure that we have some type of heat pad placed about right here on the counter.
Now while you're waiting for the water to come to a rolling boil, now is a good time to practice the forming process.
To get the best results, we suggest that you practice gripping the clench grip with your grip hand, making sure to place your index finger on the trigger groove. The most common mistake is gripping the clench grip with all of your fingers. Remember, your index finger is not used on the clench grip because it is customarily used to pull the trigger.
For this to work properly, you've got to wait for the water to come to a rolling boil. A rolling boil is a little bit different than just bringing it to a boil. This is a rolling boil. If you're doing this alone, you'll want to put the mitt on your non-grip hand. Now let's remove the boiling water, right there. Now, when we do that, we make sure that we have a pad down here so it doesn't hurt what you're putting it on, and get a hold of the clench grip tool as we turn it off.
As we turn it off.
There you go. You haven't been around the kitchen much, have you?
No, I have not.
Now, when I hit the start button, you're going to start to submerge. I'm going to hit it right now. And you do it like we practiced earlier, okay?
Absolutely.
Put it on down there for 60 seconds, remember?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, I'm not going to start the timer after that, okay? I'm not going to stop it. We have to wait afterwards about 8 seconds. So we're going to let this go to 68 seconds, okay?
All right, now, is this going to be my grip or is it going to be your grip?
Okay, let me ask you a question. How many number 1 records have you got?
Ooh, I don't know, 5, 6.
5 or 6? Mm-hmm. Well, I've only got a couple.
Okay.
So, but you've never been in the ring, have you, and wrestled?
No.
So this is mine.
Fair enough.
Okay, so we got about 5 seconds left here, then we have 8 seconds to go.
All right, then you have to put
and pull it. Pull it, ready?
Yep.
Okay, 8 seconds. I'm putting my hand in the cold water. That's 8 seconds. There you have
it. The most common mistake is
gripping the clench grip with all of your fingers.
You messed it up.
I just messed it up?
Put your finger up on the...
Oh, I did.
Okay, you gotta take there you go. There you go. Okay, now, index finger on the trigger spot. Get your other hand, squeeze it in there. Put some pressure on.
As hard as I can.
Yeah.
Okay, and see here, I like to put a little bit more pressure with this thumb and create a thumb rest.
And I know it's hot, but just make sure you got it well radiused.
Use your finger to form and adjust any gaps. This helps to make sure your grip fits good on the lower.
Yeah, now just take the dip tool, put it in the cold water, and save your work.
And that should do it.
Well, how does it feel?
Man, it actually fits like a glove.
Well, that's the way it should. Well, the only thing we have to do now is get this thing mounted up.
Well, let's do that.
All right.
Well, the first thing we did was clear off our workspace. Now, the next thing we need to do is take a number 3 Phillips screwdriver and unscrew the clench grip from the dip tool. All right, the screw is up in the cavity, so you have to go deep and get it.
And then after we do that, the next thing we're gonna do is remove the old firearm grip from the firearm.
I'll check the gun once again for practice and safety.
You're probably gonna need a 3/16 hex Allen wrench, but that doesn't necessarily always mean the same thing with different manufacturers.
Yeah, that's gonna do it though.
Now, this is very important. Probably the most important thing we've talked about all day. And that is that on one side of the grip, you've got a small cavity. There's a safety detent spring that holds the safety detent from the firearm's safety selector. You're gonna wanna be very careful when you unscrew this, because if you lose that safety detent, your safety's not gonna work and you're gonna have to replace that.
We both lost those in carpet.
Absolutely. That is the one thing you do not wanna do. Be very careful not to lose this. Now we need to get the grip screwed to the lower, and a nice little trick for this is to use the shot cord and use the hex drive just like this. Now this will make it easy for you to get the bolt started up in the grip cavity.
Now as I carefully tighten the screw, I'm just going to make sure the spring and detent stay aligned. I'll get this good and snug. About 24 inch-pounds will do this.
Now that's inch-pounds, not foot-pounds, right?
Correct. Now we can check that floor plate. I really like the way this floor plate is used, and it can be easily removed. And because of this shot cord right here, you're not going to lose it. Let's just slip this dirty bore cleaner and lubricant packet into the storage compartment. Move the compartment floor plate into place and put it snug into position.
Now if you don't use the compartment, or you prefer not to use the floor plate, well, you just cut the shot cord and remove it.
Now I just give this a once over and make sure that the safety is working. And it appears that it's working properly, and man, do I love the way this thing feels. It keeps me consistent, and every time I pick it up, my hand's in the same position.
So now, if you shoot or have to transition from right-handed to left-handed, how does it feel?
It actually feels fantastic in my left hand.
Well, sometimes like when we were shooting 3-gun competitions and you have to go to a different side of cover or something, we would have to transition from a right hand to a left hand, so that's great to know.
Yeah, it feels excellent in either hand.
Perfect. Well, the Talon Armament Clench Grip is a fully customizable firearm grip molded precisely to fit your hand.
I'm Chad Brock, and thanks for being with us today.
And I'm Mark Wills, and I want you all to stay safe out there. Remember, firearms ownership carries a lot of responsibility. Let's all keep firearms safety a top priority. For more information about the Clench Grip or Talon Armament, visit us online at talonarmament.com.